What up, everybody? Back again with another dope artist. We told y'all we're gonna be putting y'all on to people you might be sleeping on, people you might not have heard of, but you need to hear about because we got a lot of talent in the city and in the country in general, man. We going around the world, around the country. We brought you some dope Cleveland artists, but now we're taking it back to H-Town, man. Now we're taking it back to local, where we're from, and we gonna introduce y'all if y'all ain't heard of this young man. He is a dope rapper, dope singer, just an all-around great artist. Has a new project out called A Happy Man, available on all streaming platforms. The man himself, Dende, joins us today, man.
Hello.
So first off, Dende, just want to get a wellness check, man. First off, the past year been tough on everybody. Everybody's tackled it differently. We talked to some people and they like, it's been a pandemic for me. And we talked to some artists and they're like, man, it's kind of been rough, actually. So how's this past year been for you, man? How's it been creatively? How's it been, how have you been managing and focusing and staying consistent with your art?
I mean, at the very beginning of like the pandemic, I wasn't doing a very good job of it. I kind of got really sad. And that was a big issue just because like at that point, right before, I was just doing shows like a lot around the city and stuff. And then it would just went from that to zero and you couldn't work and you couldn't do anything. So kind of I just got sad for a little while and then I just had to pivot. So ever since I like pivoted to the internet and just pushing my stuff on the internet a whole lot, I've actually been a little bit more like I've had more things to do with my time than before when it first started, like because when you just go from not being able to do anything, from doing something like at all times, it was kind of bad. But I'm good right now. Like I'm happy I put out a project called A Happy Man. I'm a happy guy.
Yes.
Did the pandemic affect the way you record? Or I noticed I was looking at one of your YouTube videos and it said recorded and mixed by you. So are you a at-home recorder?
Yeah, or this is how I literally record. This mic right here on this arm, I sit here like we're sitting right now, and I record my songs like this.
That kind of remind me of my old studio back in Cleveland because I was the chief engineer in my studio, pretty much my home studio. So that helped out a lot. So I'm sure that didn't affect anything as far as creating music because a lot of people, studios being closed because they didn't know what was going on. I'm sure they ain't really know how to record but it ain't affect people like you, I'm sure.
Yeah, so right before the pandemic, I was working at a studio called the Baron Collective. Shout out to Baron. And so for my last project, not the one I just put out, the last one called Me, I recorded all of it like there, and then I took it home and mixed it. But for this one, like I had to just pivot back to being at my apartment and recording. So yeah, it really didn't affect me that much in like being able to record because like I already know I've been recording myself since like 2013. So I was already good, but literally everything else besides that was hard.
Now, I feel you, man. I think it's been hard on everybody, even the ones who don't want to admit it and look hard and say, it didn't faze me none. Nah, it's been hard on all of us, man. But good to see you're in good spirits and making it through. I also noticed you're from Katy as well, man, which is my neck of the woods too. That's where my family resides right now.
Oh, for sure.
And I grew up, I was born and raised on the southwest side of Houston, but I moved with my parents to Katy after high school. And I remember because I used to drive into Houston to go to work. I worked at Best Buy. And niggas always gave me shit about being from Katy, man. And I always told them, because I literally lived right next to Trade the Truth. Like Trade the Truth had a house right next to mine, ours. So I always told them when they gave me shit, I told them, hey, I live next to Trade the Truth. So if you calling me pussy for living in Katy, you got to call that man too. I know you ain't gonna say that
at all. So I was actually born in Austin, but I definitely grew up in Katy. I moved to Katy when I was like 5. I mean, people still try to give me stuff a bit from Katy, but I'd be like, bro, I'm putting on for Houston right now. So why you
I wonder why people do that, man. Like
it's a different lifestyle type of thing, and people feel like if you're doing a certain type of thing, like which is rap or hip hop in general, and you come from the suburbs, it's just like they're like, you ain't go through what I went through, and I'm just like, I went through something different, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's just different.
We in a day and age where you don't have to be a street nigga for real, man.
At all whatsoever.
You could be
It's not like I'm making songs where I'm killing people. So like,
you could be a like that's the one thing I like about music now, about hip hop now. You can actually be a nerd. It's cool to be a nerd. You ain't gotta hide it. You can make music about it. I got a
my name is
homie.
Dende. From anime.
I was gonna ask you about that next, though.
Wait, where did the name come from?
It's from anime. It's from Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
So now we gotta talk about that because I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan too, man. I grew up watching that show. Why'd you choose Dende though? Why did that character resonate with you?
That's I feel like that's one of the most overlooked characters because he's not strong whatsoever. But
Yeah.
I mean, after a certain point, he's the only reason the show can kind of still exist because he's the reason the Dragon Balls are there. He's a really important person, but he's not like the strongest one. He's not the one that everybody looks at as the really important one. But also he's a healer, and I feel like some of my music is very healing because like I talk about certain things that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And when you hear somebody going through something that you possibly have or are going through at the time, it can be a healing thing. So I just kind of related with that.
It's actually dope, man. I never even thought of that. I never thought of him being it because that does actually make sense. He is a healer in the show. I always thought of him as, you know, the little Piccolo Junior running around.
He's a little green dude, man.
Nah,
they chose him.
I like that.
He didn't volunteer. He didn't volunteer to be the healer, man. They chose that man.
No, I like that explanation, man. I like because your music is healing and soothing. So I rock with that, man. That's dope.
Appreciate it.
So how'd you really get into music? How'd you get into recording, man? When did you decide like this is what I'm gonna do? And who are your influences coming up? I know we live in Houston, so we all got the same type of people we listen to, but who are your influences and how did you make the decision like, okay, this is what I want to do as a career?
So when I first started making music, well, I started singing when I was like 8, maybe. My dad was a pastor, so I sang in the church and stuff. They made me be in band. They made me take piano lessons. So I was in band through middle school, high school, freshman year of college. So that's where like just the actual instruments and stuff and background is. But I started making my own music in high school, just like as a joke with my friends. We would make joke raps. My rap name, which is actually I guess cancelable at this point. My rap name at the time was Lil Niglet. I don't know if I don't know if y'all have ever seen the movie Tales from the Hood, but
Yes.
I'm not gonna go into that story. But my rap name was Lil Niglet.
Did you look like him or something?
Nah, okay. So like in the movie, there was a whole like cut scene where like this racist dude that was running for mayor like moved into a plantation home, and there was this like painting on the wall of like older black lady and then a bunch of little black dolls all over the floor, and he was super racist, and the painting like came to life to like torture him, and they just started disappearing off of the painting, and he had a shotgun in his hand in one of the scenes, and he just goes, "I'm gonna kill all you little nigglets," and I thought that line was really funny. so that was my rap name for a little while, but it was all joke raps, and then like freshman year of college, I actually started like caring and being like, I actually could be good at this. And that was along the lines that was around the time of like Chance the Rapper movement, when it was like individuality and independence. So I was like, oh word, I'm about to start making music.
Okay. And you mentioned Chance, but who are some of your other influences? Who are the people you really look up to in the rap game and music game that you said not necessarily you want to model your sound after, but that you really were inspired by to start rapping and making music?
Well, when I was younger, I really just listened to like Michael Jackson, Luther Vandross, Janet Jackson, like stuff like that. When I would go to my grandma's house, that was the only time I was really allowed to listen to other music.
Oh yeah, because you was a pastor's son.
Yeah, I would go to my grandma's house, and that's where my cousins lived, and they live on the north side of a homestead. And we would just listen to rap. We just listen to Houston rap, and we would print out the lyrics to songs and just learn the lyrics to these songs, bro. So like, I also grew up. So I was just listening to like R&B and oldies and stuff, and then like on weekends I would be listening to like Houston rap and Chop the Screw music and stuff. Now my biggest inspirations are kind of like Saba, Smino. I still love John Legend. I'm not a big fan of his like songs anymore, but I love his voice. He's an amazing artist. Kanye, production wise, and just like putting stuff together wise. Artists like that. That's really who I really like.
I feel you. I hate how we have to qualify when we say Kanye. We have to say, well, the music part of Kanye, you know. Not
and I love the free speech part of Kanye too. I don't agree with the things he says, but I agree with the free speech. I think you should be able to say whatever you want to. I really do.
Dog, I agree, man. I mean,
we don't have to agree with what you're saying, but you have to be able to say whatever you want.
And my thing with Kanye too is that he's always been like this. People just didn't notice it because they was rocking with his music more. Mm-hmm. But he's always been a outspoken, say whatever the fuck you want to say type.
He went on TV and said Bush didn't care about black people.
Yes.
Yeah.
like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah, that should have been the calling card right there. There's no type of guy he is.
Come on, man. He likes to just say stuff. He wants to say what he wants to say.
Shoot. So what else you got coming up, man? Are you shooting more videos for your album, or first off, is it officially an album or an EP? Because I know people they qualify as different things now, so we call it projects just to be safe.
I know. Yeah, I definitely be calling stuff projects, but I know. I think technically it's supposed to be under 30 minutes is an EP or something like that. Yeah. But a lot of people just call they stuff projects or EPs and mixtapes because they don't want to call it an album. I think mine isn't long enough to technically be an album, but it is a album in my eyes. I think it's good enough to stand up against other albums that'll come out this year on the code. But I'm definitely working on more videos. I'm about to go to LA on Monday to go to this session thing, and we're also gonna work on some more visuals. I have a show at Miller Outdoor Theater on July 29th. I think it's a Thursday. So that's happening. That's also free, but you can start getting like actual seated tickets on their website in a week or two. I have a show next Saturday on the 17th.
Okay.
I don't know when this comes out, but
it'll be out this weekend.
Okay, word. Well, I have a show on the 17th. Yeah, I'm really just working on getting as much content as possible. Working on features and like collaborations with people that I really want to make music with, and then just keeping it pushing and seeing what I can do.
Okay. So I was kind of snooping through your IG and all that, just seeing what type of guy you are, and I ran across one Bobby Feeno, and he was actually on the podcast too. We had him on, and are y'all cool? Do y'all have some type of relationship? And his music kind of reflects yours. It seems like y'all kind of got the same genre, if that makes sense. But yeah, did you ever meet him or do any music with him?
Yeah, so he had a song that he wanted me on. Like it was over a year and a half. It was my first project on the Cool. He wanted me on a song, and that song never came out. And then recently, I just got him on one of my songs, so y'all should expect that pretty soon. But yeah, he's a really cool dude. I didn't really care about football. I know he's played football. I knew who he was. Look, I knew who he was because of football, but like I don't watch football, so I didn't give a shit. I just listened to his music and I was like, oh, this is dope. And then he wanted to work with me, so I was like, bet.
He probably was cool with that because he probably don't give a fuck about football now. So
I would assume cool. So.
Yeah, so it's probably a good feeling to run to somebody that don't really care for football and just want to do music.
100%. Yeah, like my cousin, I told my cousin that I had met him and we were working on stuff, and he was like, "What the fuck? You got to meet here?" I was like, "Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I just like that he's good at music." But yeah, he's really cool. People, I'll send him stuff sometimes. But recently, yeah, I just got a song with him, so I'm working on trying to finish that one, and then we can just expect a single from that.
Okay, looking forward to it, man. Bobby Feeno, of course, dropped a project as well recently, so y'all checked. We already told y'all we reviewed it and broke it down, so y'all make sure y'all check it out if y'all haven't. It's qualified. We have a rating. We had filling in on the lore with this podcast. So okay, we had Jay Prince on as a guest before, And we got some sound bites from him. And now he said we're qualified to be in Mob Ties, little crew. So now we say whether albums are qualified or pig pen status, because he likes to say pig pen status a lot too. So your project, A Happy Man, is qualified. So this
word. I was about to ask. I was about to say,
qualified.
Hey, if it's not qualified, don't take it to my face.
Nah,
I'll try right here.
Qualified.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
try
really
right here, right now.
Yeah, no, it's really a good. I'm not just saying that because you won here. To me, it's a really good project. Our girl Jasmine, she likes the project too. She heard it on the way here, and yeah, man, the one song that stood out to me was "A Happy Man's Demon." What made you make a song like that? Because you was pretty much saying how it kind of remind me of just hating ass people, I guess. Who whatever you got going on, they just hating on it pretty much. Mm-hmm. So what was your inspiration behind that song?
So before I even like started actually making music, I was writing poems and stuff, and that was how I would like get my thoughts out, because I didn't really talk to people about stuff that was going on. I didn't feel comfortable talking to anybody, so I would write poems. So for this song, I literally wrote a poem for the first half, and then I just kind of went from there. I was like, I kind of want to get both sides of this kind of situation. So when you're saying that there's that hating ass person that's always hating on everything you're doing, every time they see something good happen, they got to point out something that's like not so great about you or your situation. And in my situation, that hating ass person isn't external. It's like literally inside of my head, because one of my biggest struggles has been getting over myself. And if you follow me on like social media and stuff, you would think that I'm just like this super happy guy because I love making jokes. That's literally my whole Twitter is just jokes. My story on Instagram is usually just like music and then random memes and jokes and stuff, like, because I like to be funny, I like to have fun. But then like in the back of my head is just this person that's just like, yeah, but also such and such. So it was really just motivated by me wanting to like portray that feeling, because a lot of people don't check on that strong friend, that person that's always just upbeat, that one that was always like, yo, let's get it, or how are we doing today, like up at 6 a.m. Gucci. So I wanted to show that, like, yeah, I am a happy man, but like to be a happy man, you also sometimes have to deal with stuff like this. So that's really what the inspiration behind that song was.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was thinking that same thing, because you know, it's a lot of people that walk around are super happy, but we never ask them how they're doing. We never say, hey, you good, man? You need something? You okay? It's just they're always the life of the party. They're always the positive one. So yeah, that song was kind of deep. That song kind of hit me a little bit. I'm like, damn.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man.
It was a dope song, man. And I only bring this up now because I know you're into anime too, but it's around the game I just played. It's actually like a visual novel. It's called Doki Doki Literature Club. And there's a character that, I don't know if you ever heard, it just came out on Switch and PS4 and all that. But it's like a visual novel, and there's a character in that's just like what you said. Somebody who's extremely happy-go-lucky, and you find out they really going through some deep shit. It's a good game if you into that type of shit. So check that out if you get a chance, man. That was definitely.
Oh, word. I'm gonna ask you about it after we don't record.
Yeah, for sure. I can say a lot about it, but I don't want to derail the interview, man. We got to keep it hip hop. We got to keep it, you know.
No, I'll listen to you talk about right now. I was saying I'll ask you what it's called, because I'm gonna forget what it's called.
Doki Doki Literature Club, for anybody who wants to know. Doki Doki Literature Club. For anime niggas only, man. Don't come to me saying, fuck is this crazy shit? These high school girls acting crazy. Don't come to me if you check this
I you know I will. I'm like, man, the last watch that you told me that I think you told me you was watching something. I'm like, let me check it out. I didn't know what the fuck I was watching, man.
So you're an anime guy?
I told you to watch Altered Carbon.
Yes, that's the show.
I think that was what you were, yeah.
That's the show. I'm like, man, what is this? Like, I'm not asking him anything else.
So you're the anime person?
I'm the anime dude, man. Like, I grew up, I have no qualms about it. I used to be insecure about it. I'm a full-on nerd, dog. I play anime and I watch anime and play video games.
For sure.
That's what I, even as I get older. So it is what it is, bro. Yeah. I've come to terms with it now.
The closest I am to anime is probably Marvel shit. I like the actual Marvel movie.
I
That's
actually
probably
do too. But no, anime, I fucking love anime. Most of what I watch is just anime stuff. Like,
Did you watch the Demon Slayer movie?
Yes, I did. I was just about to say that. Me and my friends went to the movies we went to Katy Mills Mall specifically because we knew nobody was gonna be there. And we went and we had the theater to ourselves and watched that movie. It made me so happy.
That movie is fire, man. That movie is fire. Did you watch it subtitled or dubbed?
Subtitled, of course, sir.
Yeah. What I'm talking about, man. Yes.
No, there's I don't want to shit on the dub people because there's shows I'll watch dub because like sometimes the voices don't suck. Like Naruto, you can watch Naruto dub, but like Dragon Ball Z, you can't watch that dub. He sounds stupid.
They changed the music, everything. I'm talking to this girl. She's in the anime too, but I don't like that she likes the shit dubbed. I don't like. That's a deal breaker almost. Man. You better watch that shit in the original language, like it was intended.
So let me ask you, because I obviously I'm not an anime guy, but Dragon Ball Z, was that originally in a different language, the actual show?
Yeah, it's Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I never.
All those shows are in Japanese first.
Yes.
Okay. I never realized that.
You can usually tell too, like the American cartoons like Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Laboratory, the animation style is way different from shit like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, you can definitely tell. But yeah, good to finally get this out in the podcast, man. Even though I know some talking about.
Hey, I love anime. I can talk about anime all day, bro.
I could too, man. Honestly, I could too. But you know, it's a hip hop podcast. I'm gonna try to keep it hip hop for now, man.
We got Kid Buu. There's a lot of rappers named after anime people now.
Yep. Shit, fucking Lil Uzi Vert, one of the biggest rappers, said, Yu-Gi-Oh, you want to duel? Blue Eyes White Dragon, no, I cannot lose. Come on, man. Like, they all nerds out here, even if they don't want to admit it.
All of them.
Do you feel like Meg Thee Stallion is a real anime person, or is she kind of faking the funk?
No, I think she is. I think she likes it. I think she likes it a lot.
Okay.
I really do. I think she's tapping into it more because she knows it'll make her more money because like the weebs love stuff like that. But I think she likes it for real.
Okay.
I think you could tell she's legit because she's posting the obscure stuff on her Instagram that not everybody, it'll be one thing if she was talking about the shit everybody knows, like Naruto and Dragon Ball. She's put some pictures of like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, man.
Yeah.
That's some shit you really got to be in the anime to know
shit.
about. It's kind of underground, man. Okay. It's kind of underground-ish.
Bro, did you play Jump Force?
I heard that game was trash, man.
I heard it was bad. It was bad as a game, but as like cutscenes, because like basically it wasn't you actually fighting. It was just like you press a button, you press the certain amount of mountain buzz, and it'll do like a cutscene for you. The cutscenes were amazing. The game as a like fighting game, it sucked. So like just watching those people's cutscenes, like they had a couple JoJo characters in there. Just watching their like moves was cool, but the game kind of sucked.
Yeah, I heard it was. It goes on for sale for super cheap now too. That's how you know a game is trash.
Game kind of sucked.
$5 now. I'm like, okay.
Game kind of sucked, but I will say the cutscenes was dope, but a bad game.
Okay. I agree. I'm playing Guilty Gear now for my anime fighter needs. Man, that shit's fire. So, but back to hip hop now. I keep saying it.
Hold on. This guy.
I'm sorry.
So, would you make a anime type of rap or something like that? Because the reason I asked that, because I actually have a homeboy in Cleveland. He go by the name of Crazy 8. I want to say he go by Crazy 8, but he be making like Dragon Ball Z raps, and he got like a big fan base, man. So, would you ever? I know your music a little more soulful. But would you ever step in that lane of rapping about anime?
So when I lived in Denton, Texas, it was like 2015 or 16 or so, I put out a EP called Manga Mixtape or something like that, Manga EP or something like that, and I just sampled like intro songs from different anime and then rapped about anime. It was not good, but I have done it. I wouldn't do it again, but people do want to hear that. I see it on TikTok all the time. People want to hear it. It's dope. I think it's dope, especially hearing like rappers talk about something that's not just like a regular song. It's just like we're talking about stuff that you like. Like It's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, and like shout out to my dude. I think his name is Crazy 8, but yeah, I kind of respect it. Like I'm like I said, I'm not an anime guy, but I kind of respect it because he was doing this shit since like '08.
That's alive.
He would perform. He used to have he used to have like a cape and all this all this shit. So a lot of people used to clown him, but now it's kind of more of a thing. It seems like it's kind of its own genre in
That's
hip hop.
dope. Look, there's a lane for everybody. That's dope. I respect it. Would I step into it? Probably not. I already did. It wasn't good. um, I got respect for it though. I feel like there's a lane for everybody, and everybody got to do it.
That's true. But honestly, there are certain fan bases you want to limit too, man. Like I love anime. There's a lot of cool niggas who love anime too.
Mhm.
There's like weird people who like anime too, man. I don't
Oh,
know.
a whole lot.
So you're doing a lot better keeping the hip hop R&B soul crowd around you rather than the anime fan base purely alone, because they will creep you out with some of the shit they be on, man. So
yeah, and his name is Crazy 8 the Great, by the way.
Word.
Crazy 8 the Great. So check him out.
Word.
All right. So getting back to the hip hop, man. I keep saying we're gonna get back to the hip hop, but one thing we do ask all the artists who are from the Houston area is what they think about the climate in the city, man. Because we've had some people on and they talk about, how they feel like they got to move out of the city to make moves because there's too many people. Like it's a dog eat dog world in Houston music now, they feel. Everybody's shitting on each other. DJs ain't playing their records. There's too much hating to collaborate. People just don't fuck with each other for whatever reason, and they feel like they got to go to a place like Atlanta or LA to collaborate and get on with people. Do you feel that applies to you as well, or do you think you're in a different lane where the collaboration is actually encouraged?
I don't feel like it's like that, but that's my experience though. Like maybe somebody is experiencing that, and I have all the respect to them. If they feel like that's happening to them, then we need to change that on the cool. But the experience that I've been having recently, I mean, when I first started, nobody wanted to fuck with me. Nobody wanted to put me on shows. Nobody wanted to make songs with me. But that was then. Now I'm kind of just like everybody, like we all kind of fuck with each other. Everybody I've ever met making music, even if I didn't make a song with them, I try to support. Like I feel like we have like a really good core of like underground artists coming up right now, like Lily Aviana and Don't Ask Jen and like Nico Crow and Uncle Tino. And I feel like you don't need to leave. People do leave and they get notoriety, and that's cool. But I really don't think you have to leave. The internet is huge, man. Like I had a pretty decent following in Houston before the pandemic. And like I said, it was a bad time, but like once I transitioned to the internet, I got way bigger of a following. And a lot of people are from Houston and they support now. Like it's just pivoting and figuring out how to use your avenues a little bit better. If somebody is experiencing that though, they just need to not be around those types of people on the cool. If there's people that are like trying to gatekeep and not let you do stuff, then go around it. Because I went to Clark Atlanta University and I dropped out because I don't fuck with school. But their school motto is find a way or make one. And I took that with me when I came back here. They didn't want to put me on the shows. I made my own. They didn't want to make beats for me. I made my own. So make it happen. It's not impossible. We can make it happen.
Now that's a good approach, man. Honestly, I'm not gonna say it's easier than ever, but I think it's easier to do it all by yourself, or at least put yourself on a little bit and get yourself a little bit of a following now than it was ever before. You have a home studio, make your own beats, record your own shit. So yeah. That's a good approach to have.
I think the best part about it is as far as like the internet, you can literally like I ain't saying you gotta lie, but you can literally make it like you're popping, like all these people, like you doing your thing, and people would believe that shit. And for that simple fact, people
I believe
that
like, too.
Yeah, so for that simple fact, people will think you're doing something and want to work with you because they say, "Oh shit, you working with Bobby Feeno? Oh shit, I got to work with him, man." And
so
we all look at shit like that and say, "Oh, they doing their thing. Let's support this dude."
Well, I feel like it's also a lot of staying on the internet all day because I would be on the internet posting my songs literally under everybody's stuff. And that's how I started working with other people just around the United States. Like Chris Patrick, I made a song with him. I made a couple songs with him, but that was because of the internet. Like artists like Asar and most of the people on my project is because of the internet. Like literally, like just reaching out to people. If you don't have an open mind and you don't ask people for stuff, then they're not gonna give it to you. They're not gonna do it. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you just kind of have to make it happen. I know it's harder for others than definitely for me because like a lot of people don't know how to mix their own stuff. A lot of people don't know how to record their own stuff. A lot of people don't know how to try to throw their own shows. But I mean, if there's a will, there's a way on the cool. So
yeah. I think artists in 2021. I always say that I feel like a rapper should be able to record their own self and at least mix the song a little bit. I'm not saying they got to be a master mixer or anything, but I think in hip hop, I think back in the day you supposed to know how to DJ and the old elements of hip hop. I feel like now, man, I feel like every rapper should know how to record themselves and make a song on their own.
I do too. But I mean, some people don't have the resources, and that's cool. But on the thing you said about like DJs not playing their stuff, my advice with that would be because I feel like DJs don't play my stuff still too. But like I don't make club songs first of all, and then second of all, I mean if you create a demand, they're gonna have to play it. You get enough people to want your music and to ask them to play it, then they'll play it. Like they kind of get forced to. I would just say that just create a demand because what I did was create a demand. I just made a bunch of people want to listen to my music.
Yeah.
Like I was out there doing shows in the street. I went outside the Breakfast Club one time with a speaker in my guitar and just sang with people.
Damn.
So,
Did you drive up there or how did you do that?
I drove up there and I parked in the parking lot and I went up there with my guitar and a speaker.
Okay. I got you.
No. Oh, not the Breakfast Club in New York. I'm talking about the Breakfast Club in Houston.
Okay. Yeah. I remember because I used to listen to the show and somebody from Houston, I still don't know who he is, but he used to always call up there rapping and they used to always boot him off the phone and all this other stuff. But one day he actually drove up there, which is like, I forgot how many out, maybe 30 hours or something. I don't know, but he actually drove
probably
up
close to that, but
he actually drove up there and they actually let him in and let him rap. And he was actually talented.
I ain't do all that.
Yeah, but, on the radio station, when you calling in, they ain't trying to hear nobody rap.
Like, at all.
How good you are.
At all.
Charlamagne shitted on him too, man.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Of course. Well, I can't wait to have an interview with Charlamagne because I feel like he would try to make me uncomfortable, but I don't think he can because
just don't rap for him, man. I don't know if you saw that Lakeith Stanfield interview where Lakeith rapped for him and he was like, "Oh, that shit was garbage." And Lakeith got so mad.
I would rap for him. I think it would be funny. I would rap seriously, but I rap for him.
Yeah, he kind of rub people the wrong way when it comes to raps. Like Machine Gun Kelly. He pretty much said he was trash.
What does it matter? He's not a rapper. Who cares? Like Charlamagne's not a rapper. Why you care about his opinion on your raps? Like, what does it matter? No, but I ain't drive up to that Breakfast Club. I meant the one in Houston. I was talking about Houston people. I was saying you create the demand, they gonna want to listen to you, bro. And again, it's harder for others than some, but like shit.
Yeah. Also, too, I want to add, I think people got to break the pride too. I was a prideful guy as a rapper too. Certain people, I'm like, oh, I'm not talking to him or I'm not asking him anything. And I think if more rappers break that pride and say, hey, I'm a fan of your music. I like what you do. Can we do something together type thing? And I feel like that will help out a lot too.
100%. I ask. I ask. I feel like that's one thing that separates me from people is I ask. Because I was always told to close mouth, don't get fed, bro. Like for real. And it's true. Like I literally will ask. I remember I asked Bobby Feeno for a feature when he was trying to get me on his song, which was like maybe 2.5 years ago. And he was like, I don't do features right now. And I was like, okay. And now he's on one of my songs. So like
see me, I would have held a grudge. I was like, man,
I don't care. Like, what does it matter? It's all business. I wasn't ready for the feature.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, man.
I wasn't ready for it.
It all worked out because, at that time, the song probably wouldn't have been right, or the vibe probably wouldn't have been right. But now it's the perfect time for it.
Right. It's just, yeah, it is. I think it's a pride thing. Once you get over your pride, you can get a lot of stuff done on a cool. You gotta not take stuff personally and just move on.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to get over, man. I still struggle with that a lot. Like I still, yeah, it's tough to humble yourself sometimes, man, and really admit. But I did see you opened for Bun B in the past. On that note, Fat Tony was on this show as well, and he told a cool story about how he was just in Jamaica, I think, recording his latest project, and Bun B just happened to be there at, I think, his friend's wedding or something, or his wife's friend's wedding or something like that. And so they just happened to see each other or meet up, and he ended up getting Bun B on a feature.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was crazy because he wasn't even there to record or anything, but he just asked, and Bun B made a long drive. Like they really made it work somehow. So how'd you meet up with Bun B? How'd you link up with him, and how'd you end up eventually opening for him at his show?
The first time I met Bun B was at that show. I didn't get booked by him. I didn't get booked by his team. Okay. I got booked by, it was during still lockdown. So it was the first drive-in concert / voting in Houston, or in Texas, I guess, I think ever. And it was at NRG, and it was me and then the Suffers and then Bun B. And they booked me like literally 3 days before. Like,
damn.
I guess somebody dropped out or something, and they were just like, "Hey, can you do this?" And I was like, "Of course I can do this." And so I went up there and performed, and it was dope. And then obviously they didn't do research before they booked me, because I went up there and I have a very political stance sometimes, and I went up there and talked bad about our former chief of police, because I was in front of National Geographic and all the news stations.
Hey, that's
But yeah, I didn't. That was the first time I met him. Like after I performed, I went and like he was in the same tent as me, but he was like behind the divider. So I walked over there, and I was like, "Hey, I just want to introduce myself to you. I listened to you when I was growing up. My name's Dende. Nice to meet you." And he was like, "Yo, yeah, Cam, the singer from The Suffers." He was like, "Cam told me about you, and she had nothing but great things to say." And I was like, "That's what's up." And then I was just like, all right, this conversation is getting awkward now. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back over there. and then I was like, I love you. And then I was like, oh damn, I just told this man I love him. And then I was playing with my bracelet. I had a bracelet. It was like $2, $3 bracelet, and had like beads on it. And I was playing with it, and it broke, and the beads just fell all over the ground. And I was like, damn, I just told Bun B I love him, and then my cheap ass bracelet broke. And then I just walked away. So that was my one and only time meeting Bun B.
Okay. Now I feel shitty because I set you up for an inspirational story.
Nah, bro.
Found you.
No, it's funny because we all been through that at one point. Look,
it's humbling.
We meet people, and then it's like, all right, man, nice to meet you, and you kind of standing there awkwardly. And it felt like you kind of interrupted them what they was doing.
Yeah, I was like, right, I don't want to seem like a weirdo.
Yeah,
I just want to say hey, and then I just, I know for a fact he does not remember that even happening, but it's in my brain. Like the next time I meet him, he's not gonna know that happened at all. But it's in my brain, and I'm just like, damn, I really just told this man I love him, and it broke my cheap ass bracelet.
I guarantee in the future, once y'all in the studio together making a song, y'all probably be laughing about this.
Yeah, for sure. He'll be like, "Oh, I didn't even know that happened." I'm like,
yeah, that's the one thing about Bun, though, man. Like he's always gonna be cool no matter what. Like as long as you don't disrespect, he always gonna be like he fucks with a lot of different people. So yeah, I'm sure it didn't even faze him, man. Just don't run up in his house because he will attack you.
I don't run up in nobody else. I'm from Katy, bro. He's running up on nothing.
There's some thugs out there in Katy, right?
There are some dogs.
Okay.
Katy's different now, man. Katy's different now, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And see, I feel that's why I never disrespect somebody from the suburbs, man, because I feel like people from the suburbs have more to prove than like an actual hood nigga. So now they will fucking murk your ass just to prove a point, to say, hey, I know I'm from I know I'm from Katy, but I will fucking kill you, dog.
I'm not killing nothing.
Yeah, so I don't disrespect. Point being, don't disrespect nobody.
Oh, of course, I would never. I'd try not to.
There's thuggery in Katy, man. People don't know. There's thuggery in Katy, dog.
It's everywhere, man.
Oh man.
So Dende, we don't want to keep you too long, man. But is there anything else you got coming up? Anything you want to promote? Anything? You said you got a couple shows coming up as well. Anything you want to put people on, make them aware of? Your social media accounts, all that stuff.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I have a show on the 17th. And a show on the 29th at Miller Outdoor Theater. If you want to find those, you can just follow me on Instagram at I am Dende. If you want to have more fun, you can follow me on Twitter at Dende is me. If you don't want to remember either one of those, you can just go to my website, imdende.com. You can get everything. You can get my music. You can see some pictures. If you want to look at me, I know I'm kind of ugly, but hey, I take good pictures sometimes, man.
Hey, man, you can.
That's it. That's about it. I mean, y'all want to see me say stupid stuff all day on Twitter? Definitely follow me there.
Okay, for sure, man. I'm gonna follow you after we get off this shit, dog. A good discussion. Good to have somebody who has some of my interests on too, man. So I get some.
Might have to do a full episode of some anime, man.
I don't know if the world's ready for that, man. Because I could go deep. I could go deep on it. I've been watching that shit for 20 years, dog.
Yeah, I would sit back with popcorn and just listen to y'all and take notes.
Maybe one day. I don't know if the world ready for it, man. One day, maybe. So yeah, y'all check out that new project. In all seriousness, it's a dope project, man. It's called The Happy Man, and it's on all social media platforms right now. Y'all check it out. And yeah, like we said, it's Mob Ties qualified officially. Follow him at I am Dende. Check out his music. If you see him at a show, he puts on a good show. We've seen clips of him doing his live thing. He'll be there with the guitar and everything. It's gonna be a dope show. So make sure y'all check him out. And yeah, we really appreciate you making time for us, bro. We really appreciate you jumping on. And hope the rest of the year is prosperous for you, brother.
Thank you. I really appreciate you.